Thank you for joining me. Hey, everybody, I'm doing a double broadcast again today on Facebook Live and with you at Periscope, and I thank you for joining me. I want to talk about sowing seeds. Hey, sowing seeds, and hey, I'm loving all your stuff, your book and everything. Congratulations. Sowing seeds and getting weeds. Thank you for joining me on Facebook. My name is Lindsay Enita. I am a spiritual development trainer, a life and faith reconnection coach, and I help people, not just women. I equip them to reconnect their life and their faith and overcome vulnerability challenges when the church isn't enough. Because a lot of times what we deal with is we have real life going on and we don't know how to overcome it in our faith. Not everybody has learned how to mature, right? We just kind of go along until something happens and we be like, oh, Jesus, help me. But why not actually learn how to mature and grow? So that's what I do. I help you mature in that area. So today, y'all know that I'm straight up when I talk, and today is no different. So you saw my title, Sowing Seeds and Getting Weeds. Yo, listen. There are times, on Monday, I talked about sowing seeds of love. And when you sow seeds with people, hey, Brandy Grant, hey, Cheryl, when you sow seeds, you expect something to come out, right? If you sow apple seeds, you expect apples to come up. If you sow, if you plant potatoes, then you expect potatoes to come up. Hey, Shay Norman, how are you? And so when things don't happen to work like that, it completely throws you off. Okay. And what I mean by that is, what if you sow a seed in the ground and ragweed comes up? Right? What if you sow a seed in the ground and everything but what you planted seems to come up? All right. So let me give you something real life on this. And I live by real life faith. There's no doubt about this. This thing is really real, and people need to understand how to live out that we talk. Hey, Suge. So I plant good seed into my daughter. I plant good seed into my children, right? I teach them what they need to know. I try to be the example for them. I try to, hey there, Road Girl 88. I try to tell them what the word says, right? But boo, let me tell you, when you plant that seed and you expect something to come back and then ragweed comes up, some of that other stuff that, horticulture is deal with, you just like, wow, this is way too much. Like, why is the apple tree not coming up? Why is it that I'm not seeing blooms like that? Well, truth be told is that there are a lot of things that happen when you plant the seed. Right? I told you about the tulip on Monday. We talked about how the tulip is planted in winter, in November. That's the ideal time. If you plant it in June, it's not going to grow. It's going to be some leaves, but no real bud. So if you plant it out of season, you're not going to get what you need. So it's planted in November. But what happens in November, December, January, February? Snow, rain, bitter coldness, all types of things that are happening that you would think would really tear down and destroy the bulb that's in the earth. But what it does is actually making it stronger. What did I tell you it does? It goes down into the core. The roots go down toward the core of the earth to get nutrients, to get strength. And what I realized today is that just because I plant seeds in my children, in people, in my business, doesn't mean that the immediate thing that comes above ground is going to be that flower, that plant, that apple. It might show some weeds first, right? You might see weeds come up first. But I want you to understand that you sow will come up. All right? It's going to come up. So in Matthew, like Jesus was telling them, this is Matthew 13. Jesus was telling them about the sower and all of those things. And so he gave them one example about the tares. Tares are weeds. And he was like, they were like, yo, like we planted this stuff. And the man came, he said, did you plant good seed? Did you plant good seed in the ground? Do you ever think about that for yourself? Did I plant good seed? Because right now, my harvest is the hottest mess. Like, what's going on? And what happened is as the seed was growing, the weeds started coming up, and that's all they could see. And he said, well, the men said, well, do you want me to take it up out of the ground? He said, no, don't take it out of the ground. Let the weeds and the fruit of that seed come up together. Let it come up together. And at harvest time, then you take all those tares, you bundle them up and burn them. Then you bring all the good stuff and bring all the wheat, bring it to my barn, bring it to my house. And I want to encourage you with this, because there will be times where you plant good seed, where you know you have planted, whether it's in tears, good deeds, in finances, whatever. And it seems like all you're getting is weeds. Seems like that's not going to come up. But I want to encourage you that it will. That at harvest time, okay? At harvest time, you'll be able to tell the difference. Even though weeds seem like they're coming up in the lives of my children and they're going through hard times, at harvest time, I know what I put in them. I know what I put in them. So I expect that even amongst the tares, I will be able to get those tares, burn them up, and I'll be able to see her and my children flourish into the people that they have been created to be. So stay on it, whether it's in your business, whether you're planting seeds of time and energy, you're going out and you're doing it hard, right? You're doing everything you can. I know this one from experience too, where you're planting and you go, well, and you're trying to water, you're praying over it and you're crying over it and you're networking and you're doing all this stuff. Yo, listen, God is the one that makes it grow. While you're in that dirt, while you're in that time growing, let him nurture you, let him grow you, make your roots strong. Because the beautiful thing about the tulip is that when those roots are strong, it doesn't matter when March comes, when the right time comes. I don't care if it's snow on the ground. That tulip comes on through like it's nothing. Like it's nothing. So I want you to understand that what you are supposed to do, those seeds that you have planted, they will come up. If the weeds come up with it, so what, chicken butt? It doesn't matter. Let it come on up with it. Hey there, how you doing? Hey, Gary. Let the tares come on up, because at harvest time, you'll be able to tell the difference between the seed that you planted and those weeds that's forfeiting. All right? You guys have any questions? Hey, thank you so much for following me and everything. I'll be doing a lot more things, because I realize that there's such a disconnect between what we do on Sunday and Monday through Saturday. So I'm trying to make that smoother for everybody. Thank you. I'm glad that helped you. Thank you. Was this okay for you guys? Did y'all get something out of that? Thank you, Cheryl. Because, I just know in my life, this thing is real. This thing is real. And we got to start walking it out differently. So I'm not going to hold you all. If you want to connect with me more, I have a Facebook group called Real Life Faith with Lindsay Enita. I'd love to talk with you there, because that's usually where I hang out. And I will talk with you later. Thank y'all. Bye.